Iran has just sent shockwaves around the globe with some big news about its missile program. With tensions rising, the US and Israel are on high alert. So, is this a warning, a message, or maybe a sign of something even bigger on the horizon? Stick around as we dive into all the details. Today, we're focusing on this rapidly unfolding situation in the Middle East that's got everyone talking. Iran's new advancements in its missile arsenal have definitely caught the world's attention. Tensions are really heating up between the US and Israel as Iran steps up its missile game. There's no official word on a nuclear launch yet, but Iran's actions are raising some big questions. They say their missile program is just for defense, but Western nations are worried it could shake things up in the region. It's a complicated situation, and things are getting more intense every day. The balance of power in the region is shifting. For Israel, Iran's missile advancements feel like a serious threat to their existence. The US sees this as a challenge to both regional stability and global security. But remember, this isn't happening in a vacuum. It ties back to ongoing conflicts, sanctions, and failed diplomatic efforts over the last decade. Today, let's dive into what Iran's missile arsenal really means and why the timing is so crucial. Israel are responding, and what possible scenarios could unfold next. Make sure to watch till the end, because understanding this issue requires context, clarity, and careful separation of facts from speculation. Iran's missile program has been developing steadily for years, shaped largely by sanctions, regional conflicts, and perceived security threats. Unlike many countries that rely heavily on imported defense systems, Iran has focused on domestic production and technological self-reliance. This approach accelerated after years of military embargoes limiting access to foreign weapons. Iran has poured resources into ballistic cruise and advanced missile tech. Officials say these weapons are for deterrence, not aggression, but analysts warn that with better accuracy and longer ranges, these missiles could reach targets all over the Middle East, ramping up strategic power. Neighboring states are keeping a close eye on every announcement and test. What's different this time is the political vibe that's coming with it. Iran's leaders are flexing their muscles while talks about nuclear limits are stuck and alliances in the region are shifting. Showing off their advanced missile capabilities isn't just about military strength, it's a psychological and diplomatic statement. It's all about showing they're ready, tough, and not backing down. Viewing the missile program isn't just about seeing it as a weapon. It's also a way to communicate strategically with both enemies and folks back home. When we say on high alert, it's a big deal, especially for military powers like the US and Israel. It means ramping up surveillance and being ready, not just jumping into action. Israel has one of the most advanced missile defense systems out there, and any advancement in Iranian missile technology naturally prompts reassessment of existing defense strategies. For Israel, early detection and interception are critical as the country has limited geographic depth. Even perceived improvements in missile speed or maneuverability can trigger defensive upgrades. The United States, meanwhile, plays a broader regional role. American forces stationed across the Middle East are tasked with protecting allies, ensuring freedom of navigation and deterring escalation. Increased alert levels may involve repositioning naval assets, enhancing radar coverage, or conducting joint exercises with regional partners. These actions are designed to signal preparedness rather than provoke confrontation. Importantly, high alert does not mean war is inevitable. It reflects caution in an environment where miscalculation could have serious consequences. History shows that periods of heightened alert often coincide with diplomatic back channels, working quietly behind the scenes. Public military readiness and private diplomacy often move in parallel. The current alert status should therefore be seen as a stabilizing mechanism intended to prevent surprise rather than encourage conflict. One of the biggest challenges in covering developments like this is separating confirmed information from speculation. Headlines often exaggerate missile capabilities or imply nuclear readiness without evidence. At present, there is no verified proof that Iran has deployed or launched a nuclear-armed missile. What is confirmed is continued advancement in delivery systems, which is a separate issue from nuclear warheads. Missile technology alone does not equal nuclear weapons. This distinction is crucial for responsible analysis. Iran remains under international monitoring regarding its nuclear activities, while missile development exists in a more ambiguous legal space. Some international agreements restrict ranges and payloads, but enforcement is complex. Media narratives sometimes blur these lines, creating unnecessary panic. Clear understanding helps audiences assess risk realistically. Analysts rely on satellite imagery, official statements, defense assessments, and historical patterns to build accurate pictures. Overreaction can be as dangerous as underestimation. By focusing on verified developments rather than dramatic claims, viewers can better understand the real implications. This approach also helps maintain credibility and avoid spreading misinformation. As tensions rise, accurate reporting becomes even more important because public perception can influence political decision-making. Calm, informed analysis is essential in moments like these. The timing of Iran's missile developments is particularly significant. They come amid stalled diplomatic efforts, regional instability and shifting global power dynamics, conflicts in nearby regions, changes in alliances, and evolving U.S. foreign policy priorities all form the backdrop. Iran may view this moment as an opportunity to reinforce deterrence while adversaries are divided or distracted. Strategic timing has always played a role in military signaling. By showcasing capability during tense periods, states aim to influence negotiations and discourage hostile actions. For Iran, demonstrating missile readiness could be a way to counter pressure from sanctions and diplomatic isolation. At the same time, such actions risk triggering countermeasures. Regional rivals may accelerate their own defense programs, leading to an arms race dynamic. This cycle of action and reaction has defined Middle Eastern security for decades. The international community often responds with statements urging restraint while quietly preparing for worst-case scenarios. Understanding timing helps explain why reactions are strong even without direct confrontation. It also highlights how military announcements can serve multiple purposes simultaneously. They communicate strength, test reactions, and reshape strategic calculations without firing a single shot. This makes missile developments as much about perception as about physical capability. Israel's response to Iranian missile advancements is shaped by its security doctrine, which prioritizes early threat neutralization. Israeli leaders frequently state that they will not allow hostile powers to gain capabilities that could threaten national survival. This mindset explains Israel's emphasis on intelligence dominance and layered missile defense. Systems like early warning, radar, interception technologies, and civil defense planning are constantly updated. Any change in adversary capability prompts reassessment. Israel also relies heavily on strategic partnerships, particularly with the United States. Joint planning and shared intelligence play a central role in managing perceived threats. Public statements from Israeli officials often serve dual purposes, reassuring domestic audiences and signaling resolve to adversaries. However, Israel is also aware of the risks of escalation. Direct conflict with Iran could draw in multiple actors and destabilize the region further. As a result, responses are often calibrated, combining preparedness with restraint. Israel's posture reflects a balance between deterrence and caution. Understanding this balance is key to interpreting official reactions. Strong language does not always translate into immediate action. Often it is part of a broader strategy aimed at preventing conflict rather than initiating it. From the American perspective, Iran's missile advancements are evaluated through the lens of regional stability and global security commitments. The United States has long sought to prevent the proliferation of advanced weapons systems that could threaten allies or disrupt shipping routes. American policymakers must balance deterrence with diplomacy, especially when military action could have wide-ranging consequences. Increased alert levels allow the U.S. to demonstrate readiness without committing to escalation. This includes reinforcing missile defense cooperation with allies and maintaining a visible presence. At the same time, Washington often emphasizes that it prefers diplomatic solutions. Missile developments complicate negotiations by adding pressure and urgency. They also influence domestic political debates about foreign policy priorities. For the U.S., the challenge lies in preventing escalation while maintaining credibility. Too little response could embolden adversaries, while too much could provoke conflict. This delicate balance defines American strategy in the region. Observers should watch not only military movements, but also diplomatic signals, as both are integral parts of the response. Regional reactions extend beyond the U.S. and Israel. Neighboring countries closely monitor developments, adjusting their own security planning accordingly. Gulf states, in particular, are sensitive to missile advancements due to proximity and infrastructure vulnerabilities. Many have invested heavily in air defense systems and regional cooperation. These states often seek reassurance from major powers while maintaining communication channels with Iran. Their goal is to avoid becoming battlegrounds in larger conflicts. International organizations also play a role, issuing calls for restraint and dialogue. While such statements may seem symbolic, they contribute to diplomatic pressure. Global markets and energy sectors also react to heightened tensions, reflecting the interconnected nature of security and economics. Missile developments can influence oil prices, shipping insurance, and investor confidence. This demonstrates how military actions ripple far beyond immediate borders. Understanding regional reactions show why missile news grabs global attention. It's not just about weapons, it's about stability in a key area. Looking ahead, a few things could happen. One option is managed tension, where everyone stays alert but avoids direct clashes. This depends on strong deterrence and open communication. Another possibility is more diplomatic talks, realizing that escalating tensions doesn't help anyone. Missile developments could push things forward. Raising the stakes can really push negotiations forward. But here's the thing, misreading routine military moves as threats can lead to serious problems. History shows us that many conflicts kick off not from planned actions, but from simple misunderstandings. To avoid this, we need clear communication and a bit of restraint. Plus, there's the risk of proxy actions happening without direct fights, which is something we've seen a lot in this area. Each situation brings its own set of challenges, risks, and implications. Known or predetermined outcomes depend on decisions made in the coming weeks and months. Staying informed and critically evaluating information is essential for understanding which path is most likely. Ultimately, Iran's advanced missile arsenal represents both a military capability and a strategic message. It signals resilience under pressure and challenges adversaries to reconsider their assumptions. At the same time, it increases anxiety and forces defensive responses. The United States and Israel. Staying alert is all about being cautious, not panicking. Just because tensions are high doesn't mean war is around the corner. Deterrence can actually work. To really get what's going on, we need to be patient, pay attention to the facts, and not get swept up in sensational headlines. Staying grounded helps us avoid unnecessary fear while still recognizing real risks. The next little while will probably bring a mix of military activity, so let's keep our heads cool. Understanding how rhetoric changes with actions can really give us insight into where things are headed. This story is still unfolding, and its impact will definitely shape the region for years. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss our global security updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments.